Load progression. Exercise for load progression should be appropriate and selected according to the fitness level or healing phase. External loads are added, and for the horse this does not simply mean adding a rider, it means adding intensity, frequency and duration of current loads to increase effort. Individual exercises should be varied so that range of motion is targeted and maintained, as well as function of individual muscles and muscle groups, and acuity of muscle function. So if we consider the horse and rider in the image, we can see that this bounce fence grid is targeting this aspect of varying the exercise. It gives scope to provide variety. The fences are low and the horse must figure out where to put its feet and transition to a canter stride in between those elements if approaching in trot. The approaches can be varied in flexibility requirement to vary the intensity of the stretch, so that they could approach in flexion and exit, so approach in flexion on a large or progressively smaller circles, and exit straight or in flexion. The jumps could be closer together to vary lumbosacral flexion, and the jumps can be made wider or turned into oxes to elongate the stretch. So perhaps you could have 2 straight bars across here, which would make the horse stretch more over the jump rather than step over the cross pole. And more about how we can progressively vary exercise later to increase the load and the effort. The repetitions could be increased together with the sets of repetitions interspersed with the rest periods in between exertions. The frequency can be varied by the number of times the horse negotiates the grid. More about this later, but I just wanted you to get an appreciation of how powerful a simple bounce fence can be for safe load progression. And this can be done on the end of a lunge line without a rider, or even down through a jump lane to give the horse more opportunity to demonstrate their capability and willingness or enthusiasm to complete the exercise. Although with a rider you can more easily control bend and pace, which also includes resistance provided by weight of the rider for strength gains. So there is value in allowing the horse to work through grids independently of the rider, and some of them may put more effort into this without a rider, some of them may stretch more, and some of them, their enthusiasm for the exercise will skyrocket. It's possible to manipulate velocity or speed or pace of the exercise to control for force, so slow through to fast, although slow paces for the horses often requires more effort, such as working in slow trot or piaffe in preference to working trot. To clarify, effort is working progressively closer to the point of approaching fatigue. It's increasing intensity of the work. It's increasing the duration of the work. Think of endurance horses and how much effort is required to complete those long distances, and how the courses are mostly worked in straight lines. Flexion requires effort.